I pleaded and I begged. I was already picturing our granddaughter's bat mitzvah in 12 years, when Andy would be there with his new wife, a sandy-haired sociology professor, and I'd be there alone in 73. I pleaded and I begged some more. "Get out," Andy said. "I need my sleep. I walked away from my parents. I will walk away from you." I got up and I left and started walking across the hall to my room, the room that used to be our room. I felt so alone, and I would for the rest of my life. But I couldn't be alone now. I needed someone to talk to. Two of my sons lived in Boston. It was midnight. I couldn't call them. My other son was in California, but really, what was I going to say to him? But I needed someone. I thought of my parents. I hadn't talked to my 88-year-old father or my 83-year-old mother in 5 years. I'm afraid of them, especially my father. When I was 7, he threw my beagle puppy down the stairs and killed him. And on Father's Day or his birthday, when I'd call him, at the beginning of one of my sentences early on in the conversation, he'd say, "Ann, I don't want to talk to you anymore," and he'd hang up. But they're people, and they're nocturnal, so I tapped on their number. My father answered. "Dad, it's Ann," I said. "Oh, hello, Ann," he said, not sounding happy or surprised or disappointed to hear from me. Dad, Andy and I are getting divorced." "Oh, I'm sorry to hear that," he said, and he did sound sorry. "Whose idea was it?" "Dad, it was Andy's idea, but I really, really want to stay married to Andy." There was a silence. I waited for a few minutes. I said, Dad, please don't hang up on me. I need to talk to someone. I don't want to be alone." "Ann, you need to take care of yourself," he said. "You need to get some sleep." I thought of going into the bathroom and popping a couple Ambien, but then I thought of waking up in the morning and hearing Andy rolling his suitcase out the door. "No, Dad, things aren't going to be better in the morning." "Ann, if there's one word I can use to describe you, it's persevering." I just shook my head and slumped. I had known where this sentence was going when he started. Persevering is the only non-negative word either parent had ever used to describe me. "Ann, when you decide you want something, you put your mind to it and you go after it and you get it. If you want Andy, you have to decide what you need to do to keep him." When he said that, I just sat up. Dad, I have to go," I said, and I threw the phone down. I walked across the hall to Jonathan's room and opened the door. Andy was sleeping on his side with his back towards me. I walked over and I jostled him on the shoulder.